Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ashes Wednesday. And this is going to be great because it's just me and you. Unfortunately, I'm being sarcastic. Unfortunately, Steven is out today, not feeling so well. And we had two options: cancel the stream and be productive, do other things, or I could join you and you could join me and we could play what's the name of the expansion? Red Rains?
Red Rains, yeah.
The upcoming Ashes Reborn expansion that allows for solo and co-op play. And I said it a lot last week, but I think the design of this thing is a miracle. I cannot believe. Oh man, speaking of miracles, what a day.
It's a Christmas miracle.
And this looks a lot like an old-fashioned.
I hope it tastes like one.
Yeah, thank you, Rafe, very much. And you may be wondering why I'm sitting here drinking by myself. And if you are, that means you haven't watched a lot of these Ashes Wednesdays. And that's okay. You're welcome here. We're checking out the new version of Ashes Reborn solo co-op. I'm actually excited to get it on the table solo mode by itself. Steve and I played last week for the first time, and it was 2 versus the game, PvE. Incredible design. I honestly can't believe how good it was. When you take a game that's designed to be a heads-up game, and then you years later reboot it and clean it up into Ashes Reborn, and then years later introduce a co-op solo mode, and it functions at all, let alone in a way that is fun, feels exactly like Ashes that you come to know and love, but is offering something new and exciting. It may be one of the most it may be the most impressive game design, tabletop game design feats I've ever seen achieved. So huge shout out to the team over at Plaid Hat. Nick, I assume the bulk of the work there. I know a lot of playtesters in the community were involved. This has just been tremendous. So I'm excited to check it out solo. If you're curious about the drink, we are in a years-long process pursuing what we call 3.0, which is the next iteration of our local store here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. As part of that, we're going to be having a full cocktail menu of some of the greats. And Steve and I usually bear the burden of being the taste testing team, quality inspection here live. And if this is an old fashioned, it's my favorite cocktail in the whole world. Last time we had old fashions, I didn't have one. And so I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to check in with chat, make sure everything looks and sounds okay. There's a button where I can turn Steven's mic off and it makes me sound better. I don't like touching buttons. Steven's the technical person. There was a time where I messed with technology and websites and stuff, and I broke a lot of things. So I got fired from that job. Steven and the marketing team take care of that, Larry and Jonathan and Bryce, and I'm grateful when they're here to take care of it. So hopefully nothing breaks, but just want to make sure the sound and the visuals are working like normal. Going to check in with chat. Oxford saying Red Rains is the cycle's name. So the expansion is called the Corpse of Viros. Viros. Did we confirm how to say that?
Nope. Has not been confirmed.
Oxford asking, is it a better miracle than the USA versus USSR in 1980? Is that hockey team? The hockey
Yeah, I think so.
thing? I think so. I mean, that's a professional hockey team or professional hockey players being good at hockey. That's not that surprising. Chaos Theory saying it sounds and looks good. Tim Aiken in the chat. Tim, when I see your name, I can't help but think, talk about another miracle. Our Discord channel, there's a channel in there called Ask Covenant that has a long history here at Covenant, but there's a channel in our Discord where you can ask questions, and Steven and I try to be on that, mostly Steven, answering questions people have about our products and services or content. But man, Tim Aiken 24/7 is he's hard to beat him to the punch. So shout out to Tim for being an incredible part of that community. Deloom, good morning from New Zealand, Zach. Thoughts on Null Games announcements and selling Netrunner directly? I stopped playing during Mumbad and new stuff looks great so far. Well, everything we've seen from Null Signal about Netrunner has been great. They're selling it directly. It's really it can't hurt. It sounds like from their announcement that it's a way to have better quality products that makes them as a nonprofit more revenue that they can spend on the game. So doesn't seem harmful.
Check your email. The rulebook.
Checking my email for the rulebook. I was supposed to distract everyone here until this came in. Which email? My professional email?
All 6 of them?
I have 2.
You have
There's
2 emails?
personal and professional.
I don't know. Steven's sending it.
Okay. It may take it a minute because it's a large file. Also, I have him marked as spam, so I'll have to check that out. Also, I don't know where this got voted on. I'm assuming our Discord channel. I'm going to be playing, so not only am I playing solo today, solo Ashes. I never thought I would say that. That's incredible. But it seems like the community wanted me to play Cole Rourquin, and I'm going to be playing the pre-con. So this is the deck as you would expect to play it right out of the master set. If you're new to Ashes and you're checking this out because it said solo or you heard about the co-op game, little history on Ashes in general. Originally came out in 2015. We had a subscription for it back then, fell in love with it as soon as we saw it at Gen Con. And a game was around for a couple years, went away through some a long series of events I won't go into here. 2020, we actually partnered with Plaid Hat Games to bring the game back through the PvP system, player-driven production. And the way that functions is if enough people are signed up for Ashes, the publisher Plaid Hat will continue to make it. And it's been a huge success so far. They are pivoting into releases here that include co-op and PvE, I guess PvP content. That is worth noting. We've seen that question quite often. So starting with the next expansion, and who knows for how long, maybe forever, subscriptions will include both pieces of content, right? So it's going to have, in this case, the Corpse of Viros content, which you can play in like 100 different ways. We talked about all that last week. But it also comes with this stack of cards, which includes, in this case, 4 different Pheonixborn. It's going to have a copy. It's the same card, in this case, as the cards that come in the master set. So it's Cole, Jessa, Noah, and Brennan. All of them with the ceremonial die theme. That's the black die I'll be using here. Then it comes with a new signature card for each of these Pheonixborn. So a signature card, like I'm going to show one. We can pop it now?
Yeah.
Just to be very clear, there is a ton of new content in this, even if you don't care about co-op and solo at all. But if you do, the value is just to the moon. So his new signature card is called Final Stand. It looks brutal. You see at the top right is the cost, that action symbol, and then the 1 with the basic, that means any die. And I'm just going to read it because I have not seen any of these cards yet. Can we pop it? Is it there? Final Stand.
Yeah, the box not turned on.
We're working through that. I'm going to wait to read it. I'm going to catch up with chat real quick. You guys are lively. I love seeing that. Tim, appreciate it. Cass says I pronounce it like Io. Viro. Don't know if that's accurate or not. Tyler saying you guys are the reason I decided to pick this game up. So cheers. Well, hey, welcome to the party. It's a phenomenal game. Great publisher, great community. Happy to have you here. Tyler saying his copy of Ashes is coming today. And I'm stoked to sit down and play it. So that is one thing I wanted to mention. If you're new, I recommend one of a couple paths. Either buy a master set on the Plaid Hat Games website or wherever, a retailer or wherever you can get it. And that should be shipped and show up to you sometime soon after you order it. And then you can sign up for the subscription if you want to get the expansion that allows you to play solo and co-op. You can also find a bundle on Plaid Hat's website that is for the master set plus that expansion, if you just want to check it out. As far as I know, those master sets won't ship until this expansion is ready, and that the expansion is expected in February of 2023. And that's really the two best ways to approach getting in. So it really just depends on, do you want your master set now or later? Are you ready for a subscription or not? But that's for your site. So let's look at Final Stand. This is a new Cole signature card. It says if you have no cards in your hand, deal 4 damage to a target unit and opponent controls. If there are 12 or more wound tokens on your Pheonixborn, deal 2 damage to a target Pheonixborn. So once you have 12 damage sustained on your Pheonixborn, and Cole only has 15 health here, it turns into a 1 cost, 1 card, 4 damage to a unit, 2 damage to a Pheonixborn, which is very efficient. One thing I learned about these signature cards, I think we talked about it last week, is that each Pheonixborn can run 3 signature cards. So you can run 1 of the old one, 2 of the new one, 2 of one, 3 of one, 0 of another. But it's another option for you to put in that slot. So this release is going to come with 4 Pheonixborn that are the exact same. And then you're actually going to get a new signature card for every Pheonixborn that's in here. And these are all ceremonial based. And then it literally comes with a 27 card deck. Standard deck is 30. That paired with any of these signature cards is a fully playable deck ready to go. So you could basically buy this expansion, choose one of these 4 heroes, choose one of the, or use their signature card, have a fully playable deck that comes with the PvE content in this expansion altogether. So it's not just the PvE stuff that is going to be shipping here. We have some cards we're supposed to show besides the signature.
Yeah.
I can look it up.
Old Salt.
Old Salt? Yeah, you can just pop it on the screen if you know what it is.
Got it.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, he looks like the Anchor Knot, I think.
Old Salt. So an ally, cost an action, a ceremonial knife, and a basic of any kind. 2 attack, 3 life, 1 recover. Wounded 1, when this unit comes into play, place a wound token on it. Okay? Throw 1, when this unit comes into play, you may deal 1 damage to another target unit. Okay, so he comes in with a wound on. He has a recover 1 at the end of the round. He'll heal it if he doesn't go away. And then he also damages something else when he hits. That's a nice unit. So really, it's a 2 attack, 2 life, 1 recover for 2 that does 1 damage. Chaos Theory saying it's a grown-up Anchor Knot. That makes sense.
Nice.
An experienced Anchor Knot. Yeah, I think this card's good. Now, any effects your opponent might have that target one of your damaged units or allies is dangerous, so watch out. He will get eaten alive by, like, is it called Fester, I think is the card?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got in the mine?
Phoenix Attendant.
Phoenix Attendant. This person looks cool. So, also an action, a ceremonial die, and a basic. 1 attack, but 4 life and 2 recover. So this is a beefier unit on the health side. Alleviate 1, side action. If there are no wound tokens on this unit, move 1 wound token from your Pheonixborn onto this unit. Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, ceremonial is all about sacrifice and moving damage around. This is particularly notable because you could side action a damage onto it and then play a card that sacrifices it for some effect. So it essentially meets the sacrifice target condition. Like, what's the spider card that gets the spiders out? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I use it all the time in the Brennan deck. It's like sacrifice an ally, get 2 of the spiders. Even Brennan's ability is a good one. So, side action, exhaust, ceremonial die, destroy a unit you control, deal 2 damage to a Pheonixborn. It's a side action, so you can't stack it on top of the Phoenix Attendant necessarily, but the idea being that you could move a damage over and then sacrifice this unit and immediately you're there. It is. Some Sleeping Widows. Perfect example. Nope, not.
That's not it?
You still have that. You can play that when a unit gets sacrificed, but that is the right card. But you have to sacrifice the unit first, and there are abilities that you sacrifice a unit to trigger. So if you get to move a damage and also have the unit to sacrifice,
Gotcha.
it's just good value.
Nice.
If you know what I mean. All right, and those are the previews we're doing, right? I don't want to go too far. Like, I'm just looking at these awesome cards. Let me just look real quick. All right, just looking at the Brennan card. We'll reveal that later, I suppose. So let's get this going. Tim saying Nick had mentioned that Ceremonial will start leaning more into wounds and damage in general with new cards. So they're becoming the burn faction. You know what I mean? There is a button that I need to hit to go top down. You know what that button is? I can take a chance at it. It feels like, see, there's the red and the blue button with the blank button in the middle.
Red and blue button.
Keep
Right
left, 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 left. Or you're right. More right. More. All right, you're on the blue one now. Blue, blank, red. Moving.
Oh, yeah. And that's a user on it.
User?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Is it that green button? Hit the green button. Let's see what happens.
The green button?
Not the big green button, the little green button.
Low green?
Let's just hit it. In worst case, we can hit it again. You know what I mean?
John's probably freaking out.
Yeah, you can also ask John what button to hit.
He wrote in chat, he said, oh no.
Oh, the tech team's losing it. See, this is why I can't be in charge of tech. I'm not unafraid to break things. There's a general nervousness over there right now, and I don't feel that at all. I don't know what happened to me as a kid, but here we are.
I don't know. I know these are supposed to be shots, but Steven set it up differently. So we can run like interviews and stuff.
I have the rule book, so that's a positive.
Perfect. We got that.
Oh, that rule book looks dope. Have you seen this thing? Alex saying we can't let Steven watch this, otherwise his head will grow to unimaginable proportions. Chaos Theory says, what I'm gathering from this is Steven does a lot more than just wax philosophical on these streams.
Ready to go down?
Yep. Oh, you nailed it. That was the exact button we were talking about. Oh, my. All right, let's do this. Let's make this on that. Actually, you know what? Let me put this in the middle because there's going to be card pops. Also, whatever big brain put these lines on the screens for me to line this up. That's some high quality action there.
Happy to take that for it.
Bryce is on the credit taking here. Do you have those holiday tokens? I guess I need to let people know about them.
Oh.
Where did they go?
There's some.
Frank says, another miracle. You got them?
There's only like 5 in here.
Yeah, it's light. Oxidor saying, so which button is it so we can help next time? It is the second little blue button.
It says 2 of 6 on it.
It says 2 of 6. Perfect. Another thing worth knowing, if you're interested in Ashes, which, given your presence, makes me think that you are. We, a couple weeks ago, launched our exclusive line of limited edition holiday tokens. New process this year, if you're familiar with what we do. Around this time of year, usually Cyber Monday, we announce limited edition tokens that use different materials, different processes that aren't necessarily something we can make year-round or reasonable to make for pricing reasons and stuff. And then we make those available throughout the holiday season. This year, we're doing a pre-order system. So all the holiday tokens are up on the website. You can go to the drop-down and click on components, custom tokens, and whatever. And you'll find these, which are our holiday tokens for Ashes. And you can see, I'll show you the standard, just for comparison's sake. So the standard comes in our Arcane token set, which has been around since 2016. This is the standard first player token. You kind of point this triangle. Man, shapes. Like, how often do you even say the word triangle? You know what I mean? Not often. When I was 8, a lot. Point the triangle at whoever the first player is, that kind of thing. This is a previous version of a holiday edition. It's got like green sparkly. It's a different thing. And then this is the standard exhaust token. And so these holiday tokens are on like a frosted acrylic. It's hard to see from the camera, but they have like a nice frost to the edge. That's kind of a way to see it. And then the paint itself too is like, it's difficult to see on camera, but in person, it's this like vibrant, almost like frosted blue, this sort of sparkly. And the way that the parallax works, which is the visual effect that happens from basically the engraving on the top of the token to the back of the token, because of the frost, it creates this kind of like, almost like you're looking through a fogged window vibe, but you can still see those lines coming through. So the parallax is still there, but it definitely has a different feeling than the standard tokens, which are more translucent and they don't have that frost. So anyways, if you want those, they're available on the website. We're going to make those available through December 30th. If they're not ordered by then, we will not be making these past that point. There may be, if you're watching this later, particularly the first week or 2 of January, possible there's still a couple in inventory on the site, but don't expect that at all. So if you want them, definitely go do that. And everyone that has ordered them or will order them, thank you so much for doing it. People that subscribe to our services and buy the tokens are the only reason we can do everything that we do. So it is greatly appreciated, and hope everyone that does get them absolutely loves them. Steel's Lime says, trust chat telling you which buttons to push. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Yeah, I'm with it. Question coming in. Snortato, how does one purchase just the Red Reigns expansion without the Master Set? So the way to do that would be sign up for the subscription, get charged for it, get it. If you don't want to receive the next expansion, which we do expect to have another PvE co-op portion with PvP / just player cards that you can use in any mode of the game. And we expect that to be the case at least through this cycle, but I wouldn't be shocked to see that carry on forever. We'll see what the reaction is and how well everything does. But if you just want the one expansion, you can either sign up, get charged, get shipped. You can cancel a subscription after that. Subscriptions are cancelable at any time. Only rule of thumb is if you've been charged, there's no going back. So we don't charge until usually it's 1 to 4 weeks before release. Ashes doesn't release more than once every 4-ish months. So after you get charged, you have plenty of time to cancel. You can cancel and bounce, or when the next product gets announced, if you still want that, you don't have to worry about it. If you're signed up, it just automatically will show up at your door. Another option is wait, and after we charge for subscriptions and ship those, if we have any left, we will make those available for purchase individually on the website. A lot of times we do on the day of release. So if you're not ready to commit to a subscription, you can just wait until the release day, buy it. Every order that for standard items that are purchased on the website ship within a business day of being placed on our website. And if you're in the US, it takes a day or two to get there. So easy if you're not ready to commit to a subscription. Reading through chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Any other questions before I dive in? Because I will be diving in. KSA says, I suggested orienting the Chimera playmat facing you over by Steven's side of the table. But if it's facing me, then you won't be able to see it quite as well. And I am afraid to touch that camera. Yeah, there's things I'm willing to break. That's not one. Because that over here, the button being pushed, whatever I wish you could see it. It's like this Star Wars looking device. It's even got the little knob that Han uses to go to hyperspace over there. Don't know what that does. But if you hit a button, you can unhit the button. But if this camera starts going around, there's no telling where this stream ends up.
I usually kind of have that at the bottom of the stories that are on Instagram and Twitter.
Got it. So if you really follow us on Instagram and Twitter, you're in. You can kind of get a visualization of what I'm talking about. If you're not a tech person, this is terrifying. What's going on over here? It's crazy. I just have a computer with chat on it. I'm the lucky one on the stream, I guess. Don't tell Steven. Tim Aiken says we need a picture. I guess you better follow us on Instagram and watch our stories religiously. And Twitter, right?
Twitter, yeah.
And the tweets. All right. I'm going to leave this where it's at. Alex Becker saying, I saw my local store had the old school Dragon Tier beads for sale and was shocked they are still making them. Yeah, speaking of which, hold on. I will be right back. I got to grab those. Can't experience it without it. What? Oh, of course. All right, yeah, this is what Alex was referring to. And they do still make them. I believe the actual intent of this as a product is for people to put it in fish tanks or flower vases. But for me, this is, if you've been watching our throwback series to the Lord of the Rings TCG, this is so fundamental to my experience in tabletop, actually. I use these in so many games, but particularly that game, using these beads. So they bring me joy just to have them around, which we will use as our Red Rain tokens in a second. Chaos Theory. It's a chair stream. Chris Gilbert joining us. What's up? Chaos Theory says maybe pie crust weights. What does that mean?
Oh, I think they're like little ceramic beads that you pour into pie crust to keep them from...
Really?
Or something, yeah.
Fascinating. Had no idea that was even a thing.
I watch Great British Baking Show a lot.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, if you're curious about that, Great British Baking Show is where you need to be. All right, let me figure out how to play this game solo. It's going to be a journey. So just going to run it from the top. Object of the game. We played last week, but I'm assuming with the solo titling and stuff, there may be people watching this that didn't join us for that. It says, there's a new player versus enemy game mode for Ashes. Choosing your Pheonixborn. I have Cole Workwin. It's going to be my man. You want to show him on screen so people can know what I'm working with here? The old Iron Rhino is his speciality. So we'll get to that in a second. Let me scroll down for setup. So let me find, it's defining what all these cards are. I don't need to define. What I need to get to is there it is. Game setup. Choose whether to play a 3-game campaign or a standalone game. I will not be playing a campaign. That was our original plan. So maybe we'll do that at some point. But today I'm just going to be playing a single solo game and trying to survive the technology while we're doing it. Set up the Chimera. Place the Chimera card that corresponds to your selected difficulty and player count onto the Chimera board. So I have the Corpse of Viros, Heroic level 1, 1 player. Standard level 3, 1 player. Standard level 2, 1 player. Standard level 1, 1 player. Heroic level 2, 1 player. Heroic level 3, 1 player.
You're playing heroic.
Oh, wait. Aha, the 2 players on the back. Am I going to play heroic with a precon?
Yeah.
What are you doing to me?
I mean, so far you're undefeated.
I like it that way. David says, what's up, Zach and Steven in spirit? Yeah, hope you're doing well there, Steven. I know he's watching. He loves hearing his name on stream. As I think everybody does. Chaos Theory asking, am I using Cole's Precon? I am. Straight out of the Master Set. So if you buy the Master Set bundle with this expansion or the Master Set and sign up for the subscription, and you sit down and play, this is what you can expect. And if you're crazy, like me, I guess we'll start on Heroic. Why not? My man, I am, like I said, I'm not afraid to break things, including my spirit. So choose it and put it onto the Chimera board. Chimera, Heroic level 1, 1 player. There's this Chimera slot. Notably, can we pull that? There it is. So 35 health, I believe. Let's go back and see the diagram. Number 6, life value. So 35 life. His threat is 5, which is the number of aspect cards that Chimera deploys each round. That's a lot. His ultimate is 3. That's the number of Red Rains tokens for him to resolve an ultimate effect. So when we get these red tokens, we'll put him here. When he hits 3, in our 2-player games it was 5, it would trigger. So it's 1 player. There's going to be less stuff happening. I get it. So let's put this guy here. Let's throw these away. Just kidding. Next, what's the next setup step? Sometimes I like following these setup steps just to see if I'm capable. You know what I mean? It's just nice. It's some of those old games, like Middle Earth CCG is a good one, where if I can just execute the game, I feel like I've won. You know what I mean? It's like an achievement just having made it. I don't know. Chris saying, I know you mentioned the change to the stream schedule. Does that mean no more throwbacks, mainly new games / releases? So that is still 2 things worth mentioning. It is changing. We started streaming 5 days a week when the pandemic hit in March of 2020. Everyone was working remote except me and Steven. We'd come in and we were kind of each other's social bubble during the early days of the pandemic. And we've been streaming 4 or 5 days pretty much ever since. And I think that was, for us, really fantastic. A lot of positive feedback from the community. A lot of people finding us for the first time and joining the community and stuck at home and able to kind of connect as though they were hanging out playing games, which is awesome. And the commentary we got on that stuff was great. But as the pandemic kind of winds down, general sense on our side that there's a lot of time going to this, and what we could be doing, or the value we could be creating for our community, could be more effective. So we will still be creating a lot of content. What that ends up looking like, I don't know. We're working through that right now. I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with just excitement and new releases and whatnot. I think the big part for us is just how can we, it's a very foundational question, but how can we as humans spend our time to create the most value? And daily streams, I think a lot of people probably watching this, that is a lot of value, but that's a fraction, even personally, the number of 3+ hour streams I have ever watched, I could probably count on like one, maybe two hands. So there's just a lot of people in our community that this time isn't really serving, I guess. So don't know what's going to spin out. I do know that we are still going to create content and we're going to look to create the stuff that's most effective for us and the people who make everything we do possible. So more to come on that.
And
Bryce.
And going live and chatting with everybody is still a pillar of that.
And Bryce, who is the puppet master behind the content strings, wanted me to make clear that going live and being live and interacting like this, I think, is something that we'll keep doing. It's just a matter of when it happens, why it happens, how often it's happening, what that looks like. Thomas saying, I'll still show up when you guys decide to stream. Well, I'll count on that, Thomas. Don't break that promise. All right, next step. Create stacks of the behavior cards and ultimate cards with the phase 1 cards on top. So behavior, phase 1. Now, is there a backside of this? No. Behavior cards. And those go here. Which I don't think you guys need to be able to read that. I'm going to do that upside down. Ultimates. I'm going to put the fatigue card here. Set 5 rage dice to their base side. That's these. Now, these are proxies. In the actual expansion, these will be fully fledged. Let me... Ashes style dice. We just have these nice proxies in the meantime. Gather 18 aspect cards. There are multiple options for this. Keep Blood 1 and Blood 2 aspects separate for now. Recommended, choose all aspects of the same subtype, Fury or Shadow. Custom, choosing 9 Blood 1 and 9 Blood 2 aspects. Random, that's what we're doing. Shuffle a stack of Blood 1 aspects and Blood 2, then draw 9 from each. And these Blood aspect cards have red raindrops on the back. You see, it's tied to the name. Is red rain blood? Or, you know, thematically speaking. Nick, are you out there? What is red rain? All right, so there's 2 aspects. There's Shadow and Fury. And we played with a little bit of both last week. But the thing that gets me excited, and we played last week, and the game just sat with me. I was not joking when I said I think it's a miracle, because designing this experience on top of the game that already existed was just very challenging, honestly. To make it work and feel, and then making everything about the 1v1 game relevant. And the example that really sent me to the miracle talk was the illusion die. It's like, how there's dice over here that function. It doesn't feel like it's gimmicky or added on just to make this thing work or whatever. So truly impressive. But what I was going to say is, I don't know if this is true or not, but my assumption is first expansion comes out, you get all this stuff. Second expansion comes out, we're going to get 2 more aspects that can be built. And imagining the time when you can actually kind of deck build the challenge, and you can deck build challenges for friends or opponents, or a list can go online from Impossible German being like, the impossible two-player heroic mode. Like, can anyone even beat it? And then Steven and I will ridiculously be like, yeah, we can beat it. And then, like, the Marvel Champions scenarios, we'll just play it for 7 weeks and try to beat it. But the amount of depth is there when I think about a solo card game, right? There's a few, like Marvel Champions has the ability to play it solo. But I think that's part of what makes this so impressive, beyond it just functioning and being good and feeling in line with the first principles of the game, is introducing deck building to the PvE side, not just the deck I'm building. It's cool because there's a different mode where there are going to be cards that have different values, and the strategy you want to play is going to be different in PvE than it is heads up, PvP games. But then a layer deeper is just construction on the side of the Chimera. Chef's kiss. Because if you're a solo player, that means that you're probably not getting a lot of the one-on-one time. Even 2-player. I love co-op deck building, like with Arkham, Marvel Champions, some of that stuff Steven and I have been great. But when you really get to have this, like, it's this back and forth of, can I create a deck using the Chimera cards that I can't currently beat? And then you do that, and then now you ask the question, can I build decks that beat this in the solo mode? And you kind of just get to keep spinning that up, and then if every 3 to 4 months you get more options on both sides of that fence, just so good. I would be curious. I haven't done a lot of research into the solo card games, but I tweeted about it this weekend from the Covenant account. Like, it may be the best solo card game there is, and just because I don't think like it's that good, and also it's not a category that's super explored as far as I know, which is really cool. It's really crazy. I just love being here and getting to witness it. Anyways, carry on. 18 aspects. So I'm going to shuffle these up. I'm going to shuffle real good. We're going to do 9 random level 1, 9 random level 2. Here. Aaron Clark with Keyforge Ashes and seemingly fab going PvE with variants. Do you think this will be typical moving forward of competitive card games? So there's two parts of that, Aaron. It's kind of like a why not scenario. If you're creating a heads-up card game, I don't know why you wouldn't have a solo mode and a cooperative mode. You're just offering way more value. I think it's way more accessible, / the number of people that would be interested in the game is significantly higher when you do that. But at the same time, I think what designers would have to be careful of and is bolting it on. I mean, I think we kind of experienced this with Imperial Assault, honestly, early on, which is they had the core campaign experience they were working on, and it almost felt like the PvP mode was sort of bolted on at the end. And I think you can, if you're trying to, it's tough. I think it's incredibly tough to have a singular system that works in solo as well as it does PvE, and then to have a team that can actually develop the game simultaneously for both. Like that is not easy. So I could see the case being made that like you just need to understand the product you're making and who you're making the product for. And it could be that if you're designing a truly cooperative game, that it's going to be better as a cooperative experience than something that's doing both. But I just don't know why you wouldn't at least try to have that experience available for people. Steel's Lime, never found a friend to play Ashes with. Would solo be a good intro for myself to learn? Maybe I could rope some friends into PvE once I learned it. Totally. And PvE is so similar to how the game functions when you're playing 1 versus 1. That's another piece of when you think about like a video game or something, you have, or even a digital card game, you have the like learning scaffolding that happens that John likes to talk about all the time, where the app or the game teaches you over time how to be good at it. And so when you have a game like Ashes, any of these games, Fabs as well, like it can be so intimidating to buy stuff and then show up somewhere and physically sit across the table from people and play, especially in a game like Fab where like, you know, they're trying to rip your head off. Not really rip your head off, but they're trying to win, right? Same with the Ashes. Like, it on the surface, that's part of why PvE and solo and co-op, I think, is so important for this game, is visually and mechanically, it presents very new user-friendly. Like, the theme, the art, the design, it's all very approachable. It's not, you know, like, I was never really into horror as a category, so Arkham Horror for a long time wasn't interesting to me, generally. But Ashes, I feel like is so hard to visually turn someone away. And it almost, because it's non-collectible card game that expanding slowly over time, kind of presents in that board gamey category, slower, more casual. But the skill ceiling on Ashes is so high, and how good you can be is so terrifying, even as a card gamer, that showing up to a tournament where there's seasoned players is really scary. Like, I haven't been in that spot in a long time, because usually I'm learning games before anyone else I know is learning them and playing them, and I play tournaments all the time and stuff. But I know that is a terrifying experience for people. So having a solo mode that you can play before you even show up is a great way to learn the game, to learn the basics, to functionally see how things are going. and to get comfortable with your deck before you show up to something like that. Let me catch up on chat. I feel like I went on a long rant. We're not even done setting up yet. Danny's saying, I love solo game experiences, so hearing you talk this one up has certainly grabbed my attention. Well, from my experience so far, cannot recommend it enough. Ashes is one of my favorite games of all time, and the PvE co-op experience we'll see, may end up being my favorite way to play this game. Thomas saying, this announcement is something that caused me to subscribe instantly. Excellent. It's what keeps the game going. It's what keeps us going. So that is, it's like an angel getting its wings. I can hear the bells ringing in the background here. Thomas saying, I get my head ripped off in Fab all the time. It's been a rough entry into the scene for that game. People show no mercy. Well, I'm sorry to hear that's been your experience. And that culture is different community to community. I always, even in competitive games, try to be very welcoming to new people. But it makes sense, right? Like if you go to play basketball with a group of people, if they're really good at it and competitive and playing all the time, that's a tough experience to walk in on. Aaron Clark saying, I think that's a great point. Well, thank you. They still have to make a good PvE game and not just a game mode. Maybe a great future podcast episode, the do's and don'ts of PvE modes. This is just from a design perspective. I think when you don't have a clear set of first principles, that's the main thing. First, if you have first principles, this goes back to How to Run a Game podcast series. If you have clear first principles, that's what Ashes did here. They were clear first principles when they were redesigning for Ashes Reborn, and they carried those over to the PvE and designed around that, and it is incredible. Chris, will this PvE content take over the regular Pheonixborn packs, or will they also continue? So the plan right now is in a subscription for Ashes. The expansion itself will contain the PvE experience and the PvP, or the player cards that can be used in either mode. So it's simultaneous. The price is going to be the same, and the value is just going to be significantly higher. Dysphoria, this does seem to be a better implementation of PvE than Skytear. I feel they balanced the amount of moving parts very well. It's very impressive. I agree. Rye, RV, look like Rye. I think the only problem I have with Ashes is how hard it is to seemingly get other people to play, which is partially just because the other player needs full sets to deck build. Well, I think the PvE co-op is a great answer to that. If you have decks built and you welcome someone and you're on the same team and you're playing, they learn how to play the game, and then it's really easy to be like, hey, you just want to play a heads-up game? Like you beat the Chimera or lose to it, and then it's like a double. What was that dragon video game? Double Dragon? There's some old video game where you're fighting until the very end and you beat the boss, and it's two people, and then it's like, all right, now you're gonna fight each other to the death to see who the ultimate master is. Surprise. Goes from cooperative to very not cooperative very quickly. So Dysphoria, this does seem to be a better. I already read that comment. I'm getting comments and people. All right, let's do this. Let's keep going. Let's get this show on the road. So 9 shuffled up, level 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it says to keep it separately. Keep them separate for now, so we will. Okay, 2 stacks of 9. Create that Chimera starting battlefield by setting up a row of random face-down aspect cards facing each player in arrangement that matches the starting setup of the Chimera card. Can we pull up the one player heroic level 1 Chimera card? So you'll see, and you can see it on the screen here too. There are these icons on the bottom of the card. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So I will set that up here. What's the best way to do it? Let's go. I'm going to go my left to right. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Let's get these out of here. All right. Level 2, level 2. Okay. The battlefield facing you. Shuffle the remaining aspect cards to create a face-down draw pile. So we'll shuffle these together. Place the fatigue card at the bottom of the draw pile. We already did that. Finally, players should set up normal following the standard rules in Ashes, and then we're off to the races. This is going to be so good. This is unreal. I'm back to Miracle Talk. All right. Deck formed. just like that, we are set up. I'm going to move these tokens. And let's center this. And I will be going from my left to right, just so I can read it and what's going on. Let's get these. People could be asking about these boards. They're not currently in development. We get asked about it a lot, so I'll poke some people on my side, see if we can't get something cooking. But we use these to hold our dice. Friend Mutton Chop, friend of the show, made them for us. So proceed with setup as normal. So I'm Cole Rourke. He has, you want to pull that up? I'm going to read them real quick. A middle stat is 15. That's his life. If I take 15 damage, I lose. My battlefield is 6. That means I can have 6 units on the board. My spell board is 4. I can have 4 spell boards on the board. And he has a slash side action. It's with a little... what is that shape? The side action shape. What kind of shape is that?
It's a star.
A star? A diamond?
Diamond star.
And it's got a little one with like a card being flung symbol. It's a discard. Choose a player. Deal 1 damage to a target unit they control, or 1 damage to their target Pheonixborn if they control no unit. So the target player in this case is going to be the Chimera. And I'll put this final stand away because we're not using it. All right, proceed as normal. I need first 5 for old Cole is going to be interesting. I definitely am going to start with the Summon Iron Rhino. Yeah. So it's going to cost me a leaf to put it into play, and it's going to cost me 6 basics to summon. So let's just put those on the thing. So I've got 3. I had 3 dice. I've got 3 dice to work with. So we're looking for cheap things that do things, or let's see if he has any other spells that we need to start and play with. And one thing, he does have a couple. So Chant of Revenge and Strengthen. But weirdly, Chant of Revenge costs a die to play. Strengthen costs a leaf and a knife to play. And that leaves me no dice. So let's see if he has any cards in his deck that are free. I don't think he does. That is no bueno. He does have his ability, which is discard a card, choose a player, deal damage as a side action. Doesn't exhaust to do that. So I actually don't mind the idea of putting some allies in my opening hand that I'm going to discard and then have a ceremonial dice on future turns, because the power side, the goat on the ceremonial die, lets you take a damage to put an ally from your discard pile back in your hand. So I'm going to grab... There's 3 allies in this thing. Now, this is the precon. So it's got 3 copies of everything. Some of these things are dubious. Now, another way to take this is I play all this stuff, but I don't summon an Iron Rhino on the first turn, and that's what we're going to do. Because I want to play this. I have 2 cards. I want them to be allies because they're going to go away in some manner. Ceremonial is about sacrifice, of course. So I love the Hammer Knight as the original beef. So let's just assume there's a Hammer Knight happening. I can't stay away. Love the Hammer Knights. Then I've got 3 dice left. I honestly love this Iron Worker. During the draw step, you may draw up to 2 additional cards. Now I gotta be careful. I do not want him to get aced. He also doesn't provide a ton of value in and of himself. So that's dubious. Let's see what else is in this deck. Close combat's pretty good. That could be a way for me to deal quickly with one of my enemies. Don't need that. We also have Chant of Revenge, so I kind of want an ally to get destroyed. 100 blades. That's nice. We like that in the deck, though. Yeah, let's just go Ally Town. We're gonna get bodies on the table. Anchor, not the other first 5er. So, oh wait, I can't have all this. No Anchor Knot. We're going to go Ironworker. Let's just see what we get going. Okay. That's set up. That was easy. That was easy. So in Ashes, one of the most notable design elements of this game is you choose your starting 5 cards in your opening hand. So you always know exactly how you're going to start the game. Decks are 30 cards. So there's only 25 cards left after that point. You can run 3 copies of any given card. So every card that you don't put in your starting 5, if you have 3 copies of it, is 3 out of 25. Statistically, very likely you're going to see at least 1 copy of every card you put in the deck. Chaos Theory is recommending Close Combat, Hammer Knight, Ironworker, Anchor Knot, and 100 Blades. What about the Rhino?
Yeah.
You can't not have the Rhino, right? Or is the Rhino just bad? Is that what we determined? Let's see what everyone else said. Oh, okay. Here's the best argument. So the FAQ says Chant Revenge, Hammer Knight, Ironworker, Anchor Knot, and Strengthen are the first 5. So I suppose we'll listen to the book. Chaos Theory says Rhino's the closer. You want to draw him in the late game. All right, I believe it. I've just never seen Steven play like that, which might explain everything. All right. Another notable part of Ashes is that you start with all your resources in play. So you bring 10 dice. Each dice has an aspect, which is represented by the colors and the symbols on the dice. The 2 dice here are Ceremonial, which is the black die with the red engravings, and then Nature, which is the blue die with the green engraving. Each die has various symbols. There's like the triangle basic symbol, which is on every die. Then you have a class side, which is usually like an item. So in this case, or like it's just like a thing. So like this is a knife or a leaf in these cases. You also have a power side, which is a creature. So Ceremonial is a goat, and Nature is a frog. So you roll your dice. And these, oh my goodness, that's 4 goats. That's crazy. Statistically unlikely. 1 in 6 for each of those. So I'll let some mathematician do that one. But you roll your dice, and these are all 1 resource, and different resource sides are required for different things. There's also a way to fix the sides that you rolled, which we'll cover in a little bit. So roll my dice, get the first player token. We use the 2022 limited edition holiday token to symbolize that I am the first player. It's me.
You're using Ceremonial and Nature?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. Look at that. All right. So let's walk through how this actually works. Prepare phase. Set up as normal. Player 2, turn phase. Players take a shared turn with a main and side action each in any order. And then we'll get to the Chimera side. So my actions, my dice are hot to trot. What could go wrong? Right? I think we'll start. So I'm going to play a Hammer Knight. In fact, I can play him up here. No, let's put him over here. I'm gonna play Hammer Knight, and you'll see top right, it's got the action symbol, so it costs me my main action. It's also got a goat, so I'll spend a goat. A leaf, so I'll spend a leaf. And then a basic. I need to know what's in my hand before I make this choice. 1 and 1. Doesn't matter after that point. So we'll spend a goat. Any basic will do. Also notably, you can spend a higher side of a dice for a lower cost. So you can spend a goat as a basic or a knife. You can spend a frog as a knife or a leaf or a basic. Yeah, so the highest symbol counts as all 3 for whatever you want to see. You see that on the can be used as over there on that card. So I'll play Hammer Knight. And then just in case something goes wrong, I'm going to play a Chant of Revenge. Top right, you will see the diamond shape. That represents the side action. So on your turn, you get an action and a side action. So my action was Hammer Knight, my side action was Chant of Revenge. You'll see the knife, so I can spin this goat, which can be used as a goat or a knife, to put this into play. And that is my action and my side action. So that'll be my turn. Then we go to the Chimera turn. To resolve a Chimera turn, first resolve any status green box abilities on aspects on the battlefield. So aspects are these cards once they're actually revealed. Then, if there are one or more face-down aspects, the Chimera will roll the basic rage die, which is this, and a behavior die. Oh, we need that beautiful D12. So I will roll one of the rage dice and the D12. So I'll go ahead and roll those both at the same time. I got an 8 and a basic symbol on the rage die. So let me find it. There are face down cards, so we'll do it. We rolled Chimera Reveals. So if I roll a basic, it's just going to go back here. If I roll this symbol with like a spear or a diamond or a ruby on it, I don't know what it is, it would go in this slot. And then once there's 5 of these here, it will create a red rain token, and they will reset to basics. And then once there are 3 red rain tokens, we resolve this ultimate ability, which we do not want to happen. We also revealed an 8, which is this is going to be referenced on the behavior card. So look at the phase 1 behavior. An 8 is going to be a side action. Target opposing player must lower 2 non-basic dice in their active pool 1 level. So what that means is, as an example, I will take this leaf and turn it to a basic, which is going to go down a level. And then I will take this goat and turn it into a knife. So 2 went down. And then it says action reveal. So the Chimera is now going to reveal. And we'll start with the leftmost card. It will reveal, and this is a rampage from the Fury aspect. It's got 2 attack, 2 life, and 1 blood. So attacks for 2, has 2 life. Blood 1, when I defeat it, the Chimera will take a damage, and I'll get the health tracker out in a second. It says rampage at the start of the Chimera's turn, so we're already past that point. Remove a status token from this unit to re-roll all basic rage dice. So you'll notice above that ability, it's got those 2 little icons. So we'll put 2 status tokens on it. And if it's still in play at the start of the next Chimera turn, it will trigger, remove a token, and we'll re-roll all the basics down here. And any that hit the symbol will move up here. So hypothetically, that could immediately resolve all of them. They all don't hit basic. Boom, get a red rain token, off to the races. We don't want to see that happen. Let's see. Then, aspects for a type of unit, considered to be on the field, blood value, etc. Rage dice, did it. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. I think that's it. Because pull up the behavior card again. So we'll see, like if the Chimera itself kind of works like a Pheonixborn does, where it doesn't actually attack. So if I had rolled a 3 or 4 and this unit was out, then the unit would actually attack me. And if we pull that rampage back up, there's something to see that's worthwhile. You see the icon on the middle right of the card. It looks like a claw swipe. So functionally, one thing that is different about the solo mode, when I'm laying out my allies here, my units, I start on the left and I have to add things to the right. I can't put things on the left or in the middle, and the position does actually matter, because when the rampage attacks, then he's actually going to attack the thing that's the rightmost on my battle line. And that's what that indicates. If the sign was on the left, it'd be the leftmost. If it was in the middle, he actually attacks my Pheonixborn directly. And if there's no units for him to attack, then he just punches me straight to the face. So recovery phase, recover is normal. Well, we're not even to the recovery phase yet. So we're going to keep going back and forth until everyone's out of stuff to do. So now I get an action and a side action. Then we're going to roll the dice, resolve, action, side action, roll the dice, resolve until neither of us can do anything. And if the Chimera can't reveal or resolve anything, then it's just going to keep passing until I'm done, which we'll get to in a minute. So let's see what I want to do. Hammer Knight. Nope. I kind of want to get attacked, weirdly. I would like to get that thing off the table, though. You know what I mean? 2 life. What are the odds of getting attacked? Let's look. So the only way I get attacked is if a 3 or 4 is rolled. Now, if there's nothing left to reveal, then attacks are automatically going to happen. Nick, what's up? Saying if you asked if you missed anything. Nick is the lead designer of Ashes, so welcome him with open arms. Schmitter saying we're still trying to convince Zach that he can do a campaign. I hate to say it. I do not think you're going to convince me, but we'll see. You never know. You never know. All right. I think I will risk this a little. I just don't want to waste. I don't want to use any cards on my ability. You know what I mean? I should have put that one card in my thing and let me draw cards up to my hand size again. You know what though? I have a clever line. All right, I'm gonna play an Anchor Knot for a basic, and let me make sure I save that. Okay, I'm gonna use a basic nature die, and then as a side action, each power side of your die, so the one with the creature, has an ability. So I'll pull up the nature die. Oh yeah, someone pointed out 3 to 6 actually gets me attacked. The power action on this is I can spend a frog and do a damage to a unit. So what I'll do is play the Anchor Knot, throw 1 will happen. When he comes into play, we'll do damage to this unit. And then I'll spend the frog that I spent to do another damage to this unit. It's only got 2 life, so it will get destroyed. Has blood 1, so it will do 1 damage to the Chimera. So I'm gonna actually get this tracker out. It's got 35 health, so let's load it up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The blood value will do damage to the Chimera, so it's going to take 1 here. It's 35, so minus 1 is 34. It's going to go away, so it won't trigger. It won't be able to attack me either. We like that. This will go in the discard pile. And that will be my action and my side action. So we'll go to the Chimera. Again, we'll roll 1 of each of these dice. Got a basic again, lucky me, and an 8. 8 says lower 2 dice that are not basics aside. I only have 2 left that can possibly do that. So we'll go basic and knife here. And then reveal the card. So we're going to reveal a Lurk. 4 attack, 1 life, blood 2. Conceal this unit cannot be targeted by attacks, spells, abilities, or dice powers an opponent controls. Well, how do we deal with it? Quick Strike. How do we deal with it? Cannot be oh, it has to exhaust. Oh no, it's going to attack my thing on the left too. No, it's going to attack my Anchor Knot. Great. Whew. All right, reveals, and then that's it, right? For the Chimera turn, am I missing anything? Tim asking if the Chimera blocks for throw 1 or the nature die. It doesn't. It only... So when you actually attack one of their... what are these called? Not instances. What is it called? Aspects. When you attack one of their aspects, you roll a die, and on a 9 or higher, the Chimera actually steps in and blocks the attack. So direct damage abilities, though... don't you can get around that effectively, so we will not.
10 or higher on
A D12.
D12.
It's like a 25% chance. Let's see. Jason saying it'll attack the the Hammer Knight. How so? If it was like this against me, does the icon point this direction, or is it saying this? Because if it's actually this, that's a little confusing if I'm like facing it like a standard opponent. But I guess if you were playing solo, you'd probably put it where you could read it. What say you? We'll see what Nick has to say about that. That might inform my decision making. I really would prefer not to have my Hammer Knight die. You know what I mean? Someone's saying that way. Okay, so it will attack left first. Interesting. That's an interesting little thing. And I can't deal with it. That's going to be rough, man. Oh, man, that's a problem. That is a problem. So another side action you can take, which I will, is to meditate. And you can discard cards from your hand one at a time, or the top of your deck, or ready spells on your spell board down here, to change one of your active dice left to a symbol of your choice. So I'll meditate from the top of my deck. And we're going to turn this to a frog. Then my main action is going to be to play a ready spell called Strengthen, which costs me a knife and a frog, or leaf really, to put into play. And then I will, that was my side action and my action. That's right, I will have to block that lurk with my coal and just take 4 on the chin, because your Pheonixborn can block once around. That makes sense. So back to the Chimera, we'll roll these dice again. We got a basic, that's a miracle, and a 2, which is just a reveal. So nothing will attack me. But we're going to reveal a Fire Belly. It has 1 attack, 2 life, 1 blood, Red Wrath 1. When this unit is declared as an attacker, deal 1 damage to all units in Pheonixborn opposing player controls. Well, that would nuke my Anchor Knot. So we're gonna have to deal with that cat immediately. And then that's the Chimera's turn. So my turn shows up. I'm going to use Strengthen to side action, exhaust, add 2 to target unit's attack value for the remainder of the turn. So I'll add 2 to the Anchor Knot's attack value. Or better yet, oh wait. Man. Hammer Knight. Let me back this up. I just need to make sure this doesn't work. Hammer Knight can't attack the Fire Belly and do the 1 to the lurk, right? Because that's an ability. Yeah, can't do it. But I can do it later. But I don't want the lurk to attack. Now, if the Chimera gets an attack, it's only the leftmost thing that attacks, right? Let me read. Chimera attacks. When the Chimera attacks, it declares 1 attacker, either the specified unit or the leftmost unit that can attack. Aspects will target the opposing player's leftmost or rightmost unit as indicated on the card. Left claw, left, right claw, right, jaw, Pheonixborn. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to wait, because if the lurk is exhausted and I attack with the Hammer Knight into something, I can actually get rid of the lurk with the free damage from the Hammer Knight, which is what we want. So on my turn, I will pass. I'm just waiting. This is classic Ashes. Like when you're a 1v1, a lot of times you get to a point and you're like, nah, you get to act first. That's what we want to have happen. So again, we'll roll the die and the rage die. We did get a little symbol this time, so it'll enter the fray. Rolled an 11, raise a basic rage die 1 level. So we're going to get 2 of those cards now. And reveal a card. We get another Fire Belly. All right, and then it's back to me. I will, again, pass. We're just waiting them out. Someone's saying if I pass, something bad happens. Let me see. Oh, maybe, I remember Steve and I, one of us was doing something, so it wasn't doing something negative to us. I may not be passing after all. Let me find it. Got you. So if I pass, it automatically raises the rage level of a die. We'll allow it. So 1 would have gotten raised, and then another 1 will get raised. We're just asking for a red rain token, but it's okay. Roll the basic. And a 10. Raise the rage, so it goes, which is 5. So we'll get a red rain token. These are going to go back to basic. And then a 10 was rolled, which was why we were raised, and then it will reveal. This is Frozen Fear. After this unit is destroyed, an opponent controls, place an exhaustion token on the opponent's target Pheonixborn. Cannot be blocked or guarded by units with an attack value of 1 or less. Alright, back to me. Chaos Theory saying, it can be worth it to wait, but there's a price to pay, which, you know, I'm happy to pay. So just reading the fire bellies really quick. When they're declared as an attacker 1 to all units. So I'm going to go ahead and not pass. I'm going to play the... Now, here's a question. I assume if 2 or 3 of the dice are on the rage side, when the turn ends, they stay there, right? I think so. They don't reset. Which would make sense. So I'm just going to play an Ironworker. Dysphoria saying, Zach's only playing a heroic once, so he's got to make it a challenge somehow. We'll see. I'm going to spend my basic dice to play this here Ironworker. And then I'll pass my side action. So we'll go over to the Chimera. There is nothing left to reveal, so we will actually roll none of the rage dice. But this left lurk will actually attack. And as we found out, it's attacking my leftmost, which is the Hammer Knight. So Cole is going to actually step in and block. And the lurk is going to do 4 damage, which hurts my soul. I have a question for you, Nick, and playtest team. Percentage-wise, how much of your test team was 1 or solo, and how much of your test team was 2v1? What's that Cole card looking awesome?
It's a Q3 promo from last year, I think.
There's a promo from our Ashes League. I do remember that. Look how thick he is.
That's good.
He's been working out.
Yeah.
Pumping the iron. Sasha. Ooh, how much have I missed? Medium amount. A lot of banter. A lot of me talking about, I don't even know what. A lot of rules and setup. But you're here for the main party. Okay. So I block. This will now be exhausted. And once it's exhausted, unit's text is blank, basically. Stats are still there, but the text box. So the thing preventing me from doing the damage to it with an ability is now gone. It's going to come over to me. And it is party time. So the fire bellies are going to attack next, this one. It's going to do 1 to all of my units. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Anchor Knot. And I will use my Strengthen to make it +2. And then it will attack one of the fire bellies. So when I attack, we're going to roll the d12. And pray for rain. So 9 to 12 is bad for me. It is a 6. It looks a lot like a 9. So a 6 is good. And if I'd rolled a 9 or higher, instead of attacking this unit, I would actually be attacking the Chimera. But thankfully, I'm attacking the unit. I'm attacking for 3. It's got 2 life, so it will get destroyed. It's attacking for 1. I only have 1 life. So I will also be destroyed. So the Anchor Knot will go to my discard pile. The fire will get destroyed. It's got blood 1. So we will do 1 damage to the Chimera. This will also enter the discard pile. And that will be my turn. Some questions coming in real quick. And some answers. Sasha says, very much interested in this. Well, you're welcome to hang with us and gather information through osmosis, but also, if you want to roll it back a little bit, I walk through basics of the game, basics of the solo and how all that's going to work, and then set up the game and whatnot. So, up to you, but not a bad one to catch. Nick saying, we did a lot of solo just because it's easy for everyone to get testing. Some playtesters put out some ridiculous numbers of solo games. Thomas says, that's a cool promo. Nick, we played a lot of 2-player campaigns as well. They were fun sessions to jam together and talk through. Chaos Theory speculating that they spent about 65% on solo, 35% on co-op. Since everything scales up per player, it was the easiest to get solo feeling good and then adjust for co-op accordingly. That makes a lot of sense. even from a testing perspective, you can see why having a solo mode is very useful. Chaos Theory saying the 5 Red Rain token limit for the ultimate in co-op was actually one area where the solo testing didn't scale up quite right if you just doubled the number. Makes sense. There should be the ability to synergize with your teammate in a way that it's not 1-for-1. So having 2 players is actually more valuable than what the Chimera can just put out if you double up their stats. Or less valuable, depending. Okay, so over the Chimera turn, nothing to reveal. So the leftmost unit will just automatically attack me. You'll notice on the fire belly, it's got that jaw symbol in the middle, which means it will attack my Pheonixborn directly. I can block with units if I so desire. But when it does attack, notably, it's going to do 1 damage to all units in Pheonixborn the opposing player controls. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay. And then it's attacking for 1. We like this. So we're going to block with the Hammer Knight. And it says, do not place exhaustion tokens on this unit as a result of its countering. So if it blocks and counters, it will not exhaust. It also says after this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, I may deal 1 damage to a target unit. So if I block here, I'll do 3 damage to the fire belly. I will take 1, and I get to do a damage to a unit. So I'm going to do a damage to... There's a way to stack this to clear this whole board. So I am clearing here, which will do blood 1. And I think I do 1 here. Yes. Which is blood 2. And these are both going to get destroyed. Oh, Aftershocks only while attacking. Okay, good to know. I still think that's worth it. So this will get destroyed. We'll put the blood 2 back. And I'm not exhausted. And then I should have loaded the Chanter Revenge earlier. Okay, great. Then back to me. And I have a choice to make. Is an Ironworker worth more than a Hammer Knight? Yes. Hammer Knight is going to attack the Frozen Fear. I'm going to roll the d12 and pray for not rain. It was a 7. So I will do 3 damage. It'll do 3 damage to me. It will get destroyed, so blood 2 will trigger. I'll trigger my ability. We'll do 1 damage to the Lurk. It is also blood 2. So we're down to 33. We have effectively cleared the board. My Hammer Knight goes away. And then we'll go to the Chimera. There's nothing left on the board, so the Chimera will just pass. I will attack with my Ironworker on the Chimera. It will exhaust. It will do 2 damage to the Chimera. Chimera's turn comes, it just passes. It's crazy how fast this can go. We'll use Chanter Revenge, we'll remove a token, we'll exhaust it, and we'll do a damage to an opposing Pheonixborn, which the Chimera counts as. Doing the damage, and then over to Chimera, Chimera passes, comes back to me, I pass, and then it is the end of the turn. And Sasha asking the right question, and I will edit this for anyone out there who is underage, saying, why is Ashes so darn good? It's a miracle. For real. It's a wonderful game. All right, let's go to the recovery phase and see how this functions. Thank you, Chaos Theory, saying great job cleaning up the board there. Let me get to the recovery page. We're off to the races. Recover is normal. Remove 1 exhaustion from everything you control. I'm going to ready this old Pheonixborn. And then exhaust dice is normal. Place a red Rains token on the Chimera for each aspect in play. There are none aspects left. We did it. Replenish the aspects. Add a face-down card to the Chimera's battlefield until each battlefield has a number of aspect cards equal to its value, face up or face down. So I believe we get 5 of these things. It's a lot of level 2s. It's a lot of level 2s. Who did this? Who did this? It's going to be a rough round. I'm just being honest. But here we are. Replenish status tokens, etc. So also I'm going to reroll all my dice. If you had any dice left over, you can choose to leave them on the sides that they're on or reroll them. It's up to you. After you roll your dice, you refill your hand size. I do have this Iron Worker who says, during the draw card step, I may drop the 2 additional cards. He also has recovery 1, so he will heal this damage. So I'm going to get a 7-card turn. I hear cards are good. Cards are good. Let's see what we get. And then first player token shifts from me to the Chimera. I shuffled them, Thomas. Or Tim. Thomas asking what the age rating on Ashes is. I don't know, but I would assume pretty young could play this game, hypothetically. From like both a content perspective and even just a complexity of rules stance.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
ceremonial's probably the one to stay away from.
Yeah, but compared to like Fab, it's not even close. Yeah, so maybe 10-ish. I was like, man, why do I have so many cards in my hand? Figured it out. Figured it out.
So fortunate last night, and I kept drawing 4 cards.
Like Fab, yeah. All right, let's see what we're working with here. I guess I can play hands uppy a little. There's not a lot of space over here, is there? We got a copy of that Iron Rhino. So I already have a unit out, and I can't put things to the left of it. So I definitely want to like advance my board, but I also don't want to just waste dice to waste dice. So this is what we call the Dirtle. Dirtle. Let's play the Summon Iron Rhino just to do something. And with the side that lowers die sides for me, the 7 and 9 on the behavior card, I don't even really like meditating until I'm ready to use the dice in this mode. So that'll be my action. And then we'll go to the Chimera turn. We're back on. Oh wait, Chimera gets to go first, right? I take none action. It's the first player. It's the captain now. So let's roll. Frank saying, funny, I've seen my daughter show up in chat before, logging onto YouTube on her phone from study hall at school to talk about Ashes. That's hilarious. So we did get one of these icons. We also got the dreaded number 12. That can't be good. Side action, place a red reigns token on the Chimera. Who designed this? And reveal. We got another Lurk. Lurk's the worst. That thing's brutal.
Really?
Well, you can't damage it. It does 4 damage. So you just kind of wait.
Seems good. I played the card.
Because this isn't affected by attack spells or abilities or dice powers. So unless you have like an AoE that hits everything. Ugh. Okay. Lurk. I see ya. Alright, then my turn. I'll do what I originally proposed I was going to do. Which is play this Summon Iron Rhino. Pass back to the Chimera. See what happens. Let's reveal. Or let's roll. Got a 10 and another symbol. This is not looking good for me. Raise a basic side to a rage side. Okay. And reveal. Iron Scales from the Fury aspect. Defender will block for the Chimera and guard for aspects without this ability. Will not guard. The Chimera will not guard for this unit. Iron Scales. After this is dealt damage, prevent all but 1 from being received. Well, he's just a good time, isn't he?
Actually says some of the best art.
It does have some of the best art, hands down. And they did not skimp on this PvE stuff.
Nope.
It was not even close. All right, we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush. Just don't get in a rush. but it's easy to want to be in a rush. Because this Lurk is going to attack my Ironworker, and they're just going to beat each other up, and that's fine. We're all okay with it. There's nothing that can be done. So we're going to play an Anchor Knot using a basic, and we're going to do damage to the Iron Scales. You can only take 1 damage at a time, so it's a pretty efficient way to get some damage on the table. Maybe I have a Hammer Knight later. I'll finish the thing off. We're out of here, you know what I mean? All right, over the Chimera. Surely it won't roll another Rage Symbol. Son of a gun. Unreal. Roll the 4, so action attack, reveal if not able to. So Lurk is going to attack. It's going to attack my leftmost unit, which is the Ironworker. They'll fight each other. Ironworker will take 4. Ironworker will deal 2. They're both going to go away. When Ironworker leaves, I'm going to put a status token on Chant of Revenge. I'm also going to deal 2 damage to Chimera because it's got blood too. And Lurk is out of here. Okay, so you're saying you only have to deal 25 damage before it deals 10. No big deal. Yeah, that's right. Also, let's pull the Anchor Knot up. Check this out. The sea soon turns youth into old salt. It's right there on the card. It's like it's growing up right before our very eyes. Crazy. Love it.
Flavor text.
Those who live grow up fast. Yeah.
You're so good at this.
Yeah.
You know what?
I almost wish there was another reference to an eventual level 3 of this guy. He becomes the anchor. Okay, so it attacked, and it's back to me. Back to Zach. Well, well, well. Well. I got a lot of frog abilities here. I'm going to play a Hammer Knight. It's going to cost me a goat. I love a Hammer Knight. Did I mention that? A leaf and a basic. We're going to pull a basic from here. Just kind of setting up. The Iron Scales would attack my Anchor Knot, which doesn't really affect me over much. If it happens, it's fine. It's fine. And then no side action. So we're going to roll again. Surely it will not roll a rage symbol, right? It rolled a rage symbol. I had such a good string of luck the first time through, and then just got pantsed here. So we're going to add a 3rd Red Rain. So these are going to clear to basic. And then 1 player, 3 tokens means this ultimate is going to resolve. So surely nothing bad's going to happen there, right? I should have maybe read this. Ultimate Ready Spell Phase 1. After placing Red Range tokens on the Chimera, if there are Red Range tokens equal to or greater than the Chimera's ultimate value, resolve the following. Remove Red Range tokens from the Chimera equal to its ultimate value. Well, hey, that seems good. Discard all cards on the Chimera's battlefield that it does not own. So if I'd attached anything to these things. Deal damage to all units and Pheonixborn the Chimera controls. The Chimera's opponent controls. Oh, there goes the Anchor Knot. Gonna get another status token on this Chant of Revenge, I guess. Damage to the... Don't like that. Don't like that one bit. To the Hammer Knight. And a damage to Cole. Okay. Remove this card and the top behavior card from the game. Oh, no. Forgot about that piece. Going to behavior level 2. Oof. Okay, so that goes away. Now what does the number 3 do? Attack if able. If not, reveal. So Iron Scales is going to attack me for 3. If I allow it to happen, I don't block with the old Cole, my Hammer Knight's gone. I'm going to let you figure that one out. Not going to block. I'm going to definitely block with Cole. Yeah, he's going to take 3. What could possibly go wrong? So I have 9 damage out of a possible 15. Oh, man. Chant of Revenge can't have more than 1 token. Good catch. Also, Lurk doesn't go away because it has Quick Strike. So Lurk is still with us. Well, we will deal with that problem soon. This is also exhausted. All right. And then it's over to me. Well, nothing can really hurt me now. Frog. I think I'm gonna play. I'll do that. That. Let's play another copy of. No, that's just wrong. It's just wrong, dog. I am going to meditate. We're going to do 1, going to frog. 2, going to frog. 3, going to goat. And then I need to take an action. Didn't think about that one, did we? It's fine. We'll just do it. Hammer Knight is going to attack the Lurk. It doesn't strike back, so I'll destroy it. And then you get to do a damage to something else, so we'll do the Iron Scale. Oh, wait, actually, I'm going to attack, which means I roll a d12. Got a 2, so it will work. So I'll basically defeat both these units. Blood 4, so we're going to do 4 damage. Down to 19. There's hope yet. I've got a plan. Can't you see? Can't you feel it? What could go wrong? Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Don't forget Culkin Slash, yeah. I think if I had realized that the Lurk was still around, I may have done things a little different, but it works out in the end. All right, let's roll again for the Chimera and see what happens. A basic and an 8. The 8 is deal damage to opposing player's target Pheonixborn. Uh-oh. That could just kill me. What? Then reveal. Dark Descent. 3 life, 3 attack, 2 blood. When this unit declares an attacker, place an exhaustion token on the opposing player's target leftmost unit. If it was already exhausted, discard it. Oh no! Oh no, 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 no. Okay. We've got some work to do. I'm going to use this goat. I'm going to take a damage. We're going to get a unit back. Let's get another Hammer Knight. And then I will pass. So one of these will level up. And we'll go to the Chimera. It'll roll. 10 and a basic. A 10 is raise 2 basic, rage die 1 level. What? That gets worse. It gets far worse for me. Then reveal. We're going to get a constrict. When this unit comes into play, the target opposing player must place 1 exhaustion token on a card they control. Okay. Iron Rhino, you're here for this. Defender will block for the Chimera and guard for their aspects. 2, 4, 2. Yikes. Oh, and by pass earlier, I definitely meant meditate. Don't worry about that. I was just meditating the goat spell. So that was my problem earlier. Okay, and then back over to me. I'm going to actually play a Hammer Knight. So goat, leaf, and a basic, which is actually a frog. Devastating. Then side action. I will do nothing. So then we'll go back to Chimera at a roll. Basic and a 5. 5 is reveal. Attack with a revealed aspect. Bazinga. Hunting Instincts. A 4 attack. After it destroys an opponent's unit, a unit opponent controls, place a red range token on the Chimera, attacking for 4. I cannot block with my Pheonixborn because he's already blocked, and also he's only got 4 life left. So it will attack my exhausted Hammer Knight, and I can't do anything about it. I'm getting railed. It will exhaust at least, so there's nothing left for them to do. And now I've got to think about my entire life. Wow. Okay. I will okay, so you're saying Chimera gets a red range token from that kill? Yes. Sasha's saying, you have to think about your entire life, but fortunately for you, it's not very long at this point. Yeah, all right. Well, let's do this. I'm going to play a close combat. Choose an unexhausted unit I control. Deal damage to another target unit equal to the chosen unit's attack value, so 3. I'll choose to do damage to the Dark Descent. I'll then place a wound, so I'll put a wound on the Hammer Knight. This gets destroyed, so it's blood 2. And we will carry on from there. So that was my action. Side action. We'll go ahead and use this and the Chance of Revenge and do another damage. Down to 11. So there's hope. There's hope. There's hope. Van has arrived. His stream has officially begun. Get the air horn. Get the party bus. Let's go. Over to the Chimera. Nothing to reveal, so Constrict is just going to attack. It's a 2 attack, and it's going to attack my leftmost unit, which is my Hammer Knight. It's perfect math because I have 1 health left. It will also be exhausted. I guess I should be using these bad boys, which is perfect because now I can attack with impunity and see how we feel. How much can I do here? I can. This is actually perfect. I'm a genius. What up, Goblin Reserve in the house? Dylan, hey Zach, do you think the game mode is better than Marvel Champions? If so, why? Yes. As a solo experience, I haven't played much solo Champions, but in both cases, like I like the team aspect. From a mechanical standpoint, I would favor Ashes in general. So this is like, it's just the cooperative version of Ashes. So yeah, I definitely think it has the edge, but it depends. Like if you're really into the hero theme, Champions is clearly a great game. So yeah, it's close. But the design of Ashes prior to the cooperative mode, one of the best games I've ever played. And so yeah, it's very highly ranked for me. Okay, so you're saying Constrict should have 3 from Hammer Knight too. Should it? I had an exhausted Hammer Knight that got attacked. So I don't know. Oh. Tim Aiken saying Hammer Knight is alert, so it doesn't exhaust to counter. Oh, it just punched me. Oh man, I'm even bigger brained than I thought. So when it punched me just then, it takes 3 here. So it's only got 1 life left, which is even more better. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hammer Knight will swing at the Hunting Instincts, which will destroy it. Blood 2. Look at this. Don't call it a comeback. And then I gotta do 1 damage to something else because I just destroyed something. So we will destroy the Constrict, which is another Blood 2. We're down to 12, and we have an opportunity to be a hero. We've cleared the board. I will exhaust my Hammer Knight. It's over to me. And that can only damage... Oh, they don't control any units. I can turn these cards into damage. Wow. As a side action, I'll use my ability. I'll discard a card. And we'll do a damage to the Chimera. Then it's the Chimera's turn. Oh, no, wait. I got to do a guard roll. Let's back it up. This could be devastating. 3. Whew. All right, we're good. We're good. Everything proceeds as normal. Chimera goes, they pass. My turn, I will not use the side action here. I have a close combat in hand. I think that's actually more valuable than the 1 damage I could get on the Chimera. But if I come up 1 short, you'll know why. The chat, a huge sigh of relief. Yeah, that could have been devastating. I've gotten very fortunate on those rolls this turn. Okay, so we'll clean up. 1 exhaustion removed from everything. We'll recover like normal, so Hammer Knight will recover 2. Beautiful. I will fill these slots back up, and last turn we had all 2s, which is nice because everyone I defeated does 2 damage to the Chimera, but they're also like the more threatening cards. So I'm happy about that. I will reroll my dice before deciding. Nick says, close combat with a knight ready to recover sounds real good. Yeah, the value is high. We've somehow, we're here and we're not dead. We're not dead yet. So let's put these here. It's really nice when you have 5 and 5 dice. I'll turn the first player thing, ready this. When you can just have a row of each color. I like that a lot. Jason saying that round was an emotional roller coaster. It was a great showcase of this mode at its best. Well, why else am I here if not to be showcasing this game at its best? You take probably the highest skilled player at the game, one of the very few undefeated players at the PvE cooperative mode, showcasing the solo mode, and good things are bound to happen. There's a lot of sarcasm happening there in case anyone wasn't following. Jason saying, huge potency from the Chimera, huge opportunities for the player to make huge plays. Huge. Tim Aiken, 12-4. Can he pull it off? Living on a prayer. I'll keep this card in my hand. We like it. Something tells me these are not the cards we wanted to see. Okay, interesting, interesting. It might be time. You know what time I'm talking about?
Rhino time.
It's time to charge up that Rhino. We got the strength in for the 9 damage swing. Woo! I think it's time. We're doing it. We're going to summon the Iron Rhino. Oh, dude, think about that close combat with the Iron Rhino in here. Now, I'm going to summon the Iron Rhino. I need to ask some questions before we decide which dice we're spending to do this. The only way the Chimera can block me, correct me if I'm wrong, is if something with guard shows up. Otherwise, I can I attack the Chimera directly? I can. Right? Nick saying, yeah, someone was asking how to get it. There's a pre-order bundle on the Plaid Hat website where you can get the master set and the expansion that will come out in February that has this thing in it. Another option is you can buy the master set from Plaid Hat or wherever Ashes is found. And you can sign up for subscription on our website, teamcovenant.com, for Ashes. The next release is going to be this exact thing that I'm playing, plus a fully playable deck for specifically 4 different Pheonixborn, but it's 30 player cards. And that would let you get the master set now, and then the expansion when the subscription comes out. And then if you stay signed up, continue to get expansions as those actually come out. Thought you were like raising your hand. Nick's saying yes, only defender aspects can block. So if this card that gets revealed is not a defender, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling just very good. Now, can I like standard Ashes, can I send multiple units at once? Like if this isn't a defender, can I side action to go +2 on the Rhino and swing for 12 for lethal? Am I going to make it out of this thing? Dysphoria. I've lost all interest. This mode is clearly too easy. He did /ask for sarcasm. Like I said, when you have one of the greatest Ashes players of all time, specifically undefeated at co-op PvE solo mode of Ashes, it's just sort of expected. Nick's saying, yes, you can totally wide swing it. Well, we summon the Iron Rhino. We need nature. I'm going to save 1 ceremonial die. Just in case. I don't like going full Monty, you know what I mean? Jason Lindley, this game showing why Zach is clearly the mouth of the South. Oh, man. All right. It's time for the Chimera to roll. Let's see what happens. Watch it literally be like, I hit the number, I roll the rage symbol, I hit the number that adds an extra, so that we immediately pop the rage, put the token, put the third, it's just like, and it just goes nuts. And I lose immediately. And then the stream just like cuts. Well, I don't know what happened. All right, we got a basic, so that's not happening. And a 7. Lucky number 7. Deal 1 damage to the opposing player's target Pheonixborn. That would have been... we're not out of the woods yet. I'm down to 3 life. And reveal a card, so we'll see what this is. Whiplash. When this unit comes into play, destroy the opposing player's target leftmost unit with 1 or more wound tokens on it. If you cannot deal 1 damage to the leftmost Pheonixborn. So I have 1 damage on the Hammer Knight, which is going to get destroyed. Which puts a token on Chant of Revenge. You know what's funny? Earlier when I said if I come up 1 damage short. 9 here, which is 2 away, plus Chant of Revenge. I'm literally 1 damage short. I'm literally 1 damage short. If I just discarded that card earlier, we'd be in business. We'd be in business. All right. So it's back over to me. And I need to see. Oh, man. Oof. This is a real one. Okay. I'm going to side action. We're just going to go for it. I'm going to side action to use Strengthen. I'm going to give this Iron Rhino +2 strength. I guess this may be really risky. Hold on. Because if I don't have something to block with... If I don't have something to block with... I think I gotta wait on that play. But if it gets exhausted, I gotta get the value. Oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do? So, if something flips here, I don't even know what the possibilities are, but if something flips here that comes out and immediately attacks me and can do 3, I die. If I don't have a unit to block with. If something comes out here that exhausts my Iron Rhino, I'm going to flip the table. So let's just take a little peek here at the discard pile.
Little peek, huh?
Yeah. Like part of me wants to like slash to get rid of this whiplash, do a damage to the Chimera. I also, another good example, I have a 100 blades in hand. So I could deal a damage to the whiplash and the Pheonixborn. And then because the whiplash goes away, it's 2 damages down to 9, which is lethal. But then the Iron Rhino has to stay unexhausted. Or like if a defender shows up, now I have to clear the defender before the Iron Rhino can attack. So I think the right play is pump the Rhino, swing with the Rhino, get him down to 2. And then unless this kills me, immediately I can definitely win the game. Dysphoria, now we're solo gaming. Checks discard pile. Yeah, I'm just going to look at these little oneers and see what we're dealing with here. There's a Fire Belly. When it attacks, there's a Rampage. Doesn't do anything. I'm going to not play scared. That is my tournament mentality. Once you start playing not to lose, you lose. Yeah. In my experience. Now, in 2 minutes, I could eat those words immediately. Like it would, I won't be surprised. But I've never I don't regret ever playing Unafraid or Boldly. So that's my general default way to play it. I'm sure there's mathematical reasons to do some other play. Chaos Theory says, is now a good time to remind Zach that he didn't add back that health from the lurk mistake earlier in the game. What are we talking about here? What did I miss? Oxidor saying, or LOL. Thomas says, it's a great time. Tim says, nah, just let him have it. What did I not do? I need to understand. Now you got to tell me. Live chat's in on it. I'm waiting. Oh, should the Chimera have extra life? Lurk has blood too. Oh, okay. Easy to fix. We're up to 13. That does change my decision making though. So thank you for doing that. All right, let's not make mistakes. I'm going to play an Ironworker. And I'll use my coal side action. We'll discard an Ironworker. And we're going to slash this Whiplash. So it'll take a damage. It has blood 1. So we're going to get this down to 12. And it'll be over to the Chimera. So it's going to roll. A 10 and a rage symbol. A 10 is raise 2 basic rage dice 1 level, reveal. So that'll raise, we'll add a blood, these will clear, and then we'll reveal. And we hope that this level 1 is just a little baby nothing. Rampage comes in with 2 status tokens. At the start of the Chimera's turn, remove a status token from this unit, reroll all basic rage dice, okay? Back over to me. Let's think about my life. I need to do 12. I'm so close because we are so close. Because I can swing for 11 if I use the strengthen, which is my side action. So I'm 1 short. So I think what I'm going to do is get the value. So we're going to exhaust, strengthen to give Iron Rhino +2. Iron Rhino is going to attack the Chimera for 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, down to 3. Exhaust the Rhino. Just in case. I cannot possibly have that get exhausted because then I lose. I just 100% lose. So we're going to go to the Chimera. Rampage is going to trigger it. At the start of the Chimera's turn, it's going to lose a status token. We're going to actually roll all of these basics. We could see some red rain immediately. How about that? Well, I see. Ooh, only 2 basics. How about that? Ooh-wee. All right. 3 rage tokens. Then it'll activate like normal, so we'll roll 1 of each die. Got a basic and a 7. 7 is deal 1 damage to opposing player's target Pheonixborn. We're at 13 damage out of 15, so I've got 2 life left. And we're going to reveal a card. Whiplash. When this comes into play, destroy the opposing player's target leftmost unit with 1 or more wound tokens. If you cannot, deal a damage to the target player's leftmost unit. So there's no damage. I could have, if the Rhino had damage, that would have been bad.
That would have been terrible, yeah.
Yeah. Back over to me. The Chimera has 3 life left. So I'm going to use my Chant of Revenge. We're going to do 1 to the Chimera. My Ironworker is going to swing at the Chimera for 2 damage and a clean sweep victory. It was so close. I 1,000% thought I was going to lose that game. Before I played the close combat on turn 2. But like, so this is Heroic 1, and I feel like, because this was a precon, that's a very appropriate level of challenge for me. Like, that was super close. Yeah, chat.
Do you think it's too easy right now?
Too easy?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like this could have, if I didn't have close combat in my hand that last turn,
Okay.
it was going to be bad.
Or like 1 more 7 rolled along the way.
Yeah, early on I was rolling all basics, so he wasn't getting the red rains or whatever. Chaos Theory saying if I rolled a 10 or 11 there, it would have triggered the ultimate, wiped my Ironworker, and put me down to 1 health. Yeah. Someone was saying 100 blades. Yeah, I could have played 100 blades to do a damage to each unit and the Pheonixborn, and then the Whiplash would go away, so it would take another one from Blood 1. And then I could side action to slash with Cole to do damage to the Rampage and clear it as well, and do the 3rd damage. But I could win either way, and I wanted the Ironworker to get the victory. He's earned it. He spent his whole life to get to this moment and to have 1 moment of glory. So we will not take him from that. Can you come hit that blue or that button that you hit earlier? The aqua button. So that was the solo experience through Red Rains. It's Red Rains cycle, but it is the corpse of Viros. This was Heroic 1 player, which was really cool to see. Heroic just upping the challenge a little bit. There's also Heroic, what levels are there? I think it's just Heroic level 2, Heroic level 3. So if you really like, I really love they have this kind of scaled approach to the difficulty. That's kind of what I was saying at the top of the stream as well. The fact that you can customize the Chimera deck, because this was random in terms of what was happening. But if you need more of a challenge, you can go all the way to Heroic 3. There's a campaign mode of this as well. You can also start constructing the Chimera deck, and over time, there will be more aspects that come out that I assume you can use with various Chimeras. So you can start using the cards from 3 or 4 expansions to build very powerful Viros decks, or whatever monster. You maybe don't even know what monster you're playing at first, right? And so you can't necessarily just build your deck around one problem. It's like roll the die to pick one of the monsters, did it. Maybe it's constructed, or maybe it's just random from all the cards, that's how we eventually started playing champions, and that's probably how I would play it. And there are going to be cards that are way better in this mode than they are in standard Ashes, which I love. It's just adding the amount of added value, having solo, having co-op, having PvP, and having cards that function in all of them, and then having the deck building on the PvE side. Crazy. Ben says, any idea on planned future sets that build on this campaign? So there's at minimum a cycle of this, but I assume unless the reaction to the PvE solo co-op is negative, which it's been very positive so far, that this is something that would just continue on as long as there's enough people subscribed through the PDP subscription. And I can't help but think this is going to make this a much more appealing product to way more people. Heard from a ton of people saying, love Ashes, love the style, love the way the game works, don't have anyone to play it with. This is a smaller game, and so having a solo mode, having a cooperative mode that you can still engage in the game, engage in the community online because you've been playing the game, practice with the decks and stuff, it's crazy positive in my mind for Ashes and the future of the game. So yeah, I think we'll expect to see a lot more expansion in this direction. Chris saying, thanks for getting the game reborn and helping show us how awesome PvE is. Honestly, total privilege. And a huge shout out to Plaid Hat and Nick and the entire team. This would not be possible without all the work they're putting in and all the players that are subscribed. It genuinely would not be made if there weren't a bunch of you out there willing to subscribe and keep buying this product. So thanks right back at you. Tim saying 2 more Chimera sets are planned for the Red Rain cycle. Tim Aiken, scale 1 to 10, how relieved, stressed did that ending make you? I definitely thought I was going to lose. And it felt similar to those end game states in Ashes normally when you're not, like, you can kind of see forward and you're not quite sure if it's going to be in your favor or not. Like, at all. I said it last week. I've said it this stream. I truly believe the design of this is a miracle. It is exceptional. It feels just like Ashes. I felt like I was playing an opponent. Like in the way it was functioning, the way my deck was working. And even early, I was letting them advance dice so that I could just pass actions and wait and see what they do before I commit to doing something. It's remarkable. One of the best designs. Ashes already was one of the best design games I'd ever played, but the PvE co-op on top of it, beyond being so well designed, the fact that they built it on top is insane. I can't even imagine that challenge. Nick, thanks for showcasing the game and the kind words, Zach, and thanks to everyone here for supporting Ashes. I mean it. It's not flattery. I think you've done a great job here, Nick. Mark A, I'm a lap subscriber who resubscribed last week after the first co-op stream. Looks like a good game solo as well. We're happy to have you back, Mark. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think it doesn't impact people that want to play the PvP version almost at all, except for the fact that more people are going to play Ashes, more people are going to subscribe. The game's going to get to go on longer, and the resources that Plaid Hat has to develop and expand this game, this community, are just going to increase. So even for PvP players, I think this is a major win. Dysphoria this week really did feel like the standard back and forth two-player games between you and Steven. Totally. I agree with that. Sasha, any restrictions with having the same cards and two different players' decks? No restrictions at all. Even in co-op, as far as I know. Now, I don't think you play two of the same hero, but technically I think you can do whatever you want. Guppy, so excited to get a copy of this. Have no local community to play the game with, and this is going to get this great game to the table for me. Printed on the box. It is amazing. Chaos Theory, 100% worth all the blood, sweat, and tears to make it happen. I know Chaos Theory is one of the many testers on this project. You guys have done a phenomenal job. Absolutely makes my heart soar to see you and Steven have such high praise. The team on this one knocked it out of the park. I mean, you know, we tend to play the games that we love on stream, so we usually have nice things to say, but this is beyond. This is a different layer for me. It's really insane. Dysphoria saying it feels just like the back and forth with a little less salt. Yeah. Well, you know, you take away the salt, you lose a lot of the flavor. So I'm sure there was some amount of joy created today, but it pales in comparison to the full-on flavor when you have the salt of the earth here, Steven.
That's cardboard chemistry for you.
The chemistry, man. You need the salt to spice up the chaos, or whatever you would call me. Brian, is this sold as standalone, or do you need the master set to play with it? So you do need the master set. Technically, you don't. What you need is, with this expansion particularly, 10 ceremonial dice. You can buy individual dice on the Plaid Hat website. The expansion itself will come with 27 player cards that work with, like all other player cards. It comes with 4 Pheonixborn. They're reprints of previous Pheonixborn, and a signature card for each Pheonixborn, and a copy of 3 copies of each. So you can pick a Pheonixborn, grab their signature card, put it with the 27 cards that come with the expansion. If you have 10 ceremonial dice, you've got everything you need. So you don't hypothetically need the master set, but the master set is highly recommended. Just, it's the starting point, I think, and it's also a great value. Let's see. David. Yep, I've already ordered a master set and a couple expansion decks in anticipation of this coming out. I'll try to get a couple PvP games in, but Ashes is most likely a PvE experience for me. On that note, we're saying we have a handful of expansions on the website that are available. I think we still have some left, right? These are just extras we had from like failed subscription charges, some extra inventory from the past 5, 6, or I guess it would be 3 to 5 releases of 2. All those are at 20% discount right now, and if you order at least 2 of them, it comes with free shipping. Also, we did have upgrade kits. So if you have an old 1.0 collection of Ashes and you want to upgrade to Ashes Reborn, it's even great value if you're just looking to get a bunch of cards without buying a ton of expansions, because it's any card from the first printing of the game they updated for Ashes Reborn with new text. I bought a couple extra copies of that because there were a lot of cards in there that end up in a lot of my decks, and just wanted to have extra copies to build with. But those are on the website, along with the subscriptions to get this expansion when it comes out in February. Of course, one last reminder about our holiday tokens. Those are going to be available through December 30th, and then we're going to be taking those off the website. So if you want to get those, definitely hop in there and grab those tokens. And the tokens I was using generally today are arcane tokens. I saw someone asking about that. Thomas Santa grabbed 2. They were a great deal. Probably the upgrade kits are crazy. So many cards in there. Sasha, I've got the Reborn upgrade set, but still unopened. Looking forward to the upcoming co-op and getting it back out. Chaos Theory saying you notably cannot play campaign mode without the master set. Campaign mode is one of the best ways to play. We haven't played campaign mode yet on the stream, but it's a way of like upgrading your deck as you go and like escalating the difficulty as the game goes on. I'm excited to play campaign mode. Tim can also make it a good point. If you don't have the master set, you also want to have the tokens. So you can fix that problem by buying a master set or buying a set of the arcane tokens. If you really want to not buy the master set, but I just don't know why you wouldn't. It's crazy value for what you get in the game. It gives you a lot of options too. All right, before we get out of here, any questions, thoughts from the Peanut Gallery? This was a great stream. I had a great time playing it solo. It's super nice. I know it's a good solo game because I enjoyed it, and my brain is not on fire right now. Streaming, playing the game solo, and having fun is a trifecta that is difficult to achieve. The old-fashioned may have helped. Tim Aiken saying, great stream, Zach. Good job. Well, hey, thanks. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being a part of our community, as I said earlier. It is greatly appreciated. I'm going to give the chance for the chat to catch up with the live. A little bit of delay, and then we're going to get on out of here. Oxfordor, great stream. You can tell Steven you broke nothing. That's right, I broke nothing. Thanks for the help of Bryce and Jonathan, honestly. Dysphoria, thank you for taking on the solo stream, Zach. Of course, happy to be here. I was curious to experience it myself. As I was thinking about this past weekend, it just dawned on me that I may have just played the best solo card game there is. And I haven't looked for solo card games. If you have any that you've played that you recommend, I'd be curious to hear about them. If you're watching this back later, leave a comment. If you're watching it live, of course, you can comment immediately. But I'd be shocked if there was a solo card game doing it better, honestly. I kind of want to go on a quest to see if I can find it. I don't think it exists. Chaos Theory, all I have to say is thanks to CC for your part in bringing this game back to life. Well, thank you, Chaos Theory. If you haven't checked out Chaos Theory, create some cool content that's worth specking. Just search. I think how do people find you, Chaos Theory? Do they search Chaos Theory on YouTube? Sasha, you're welcome. Tim Aiken, any 3.0 updates? Update is hard. It's hard. It's a weird time to be building. So we bought some land. I'm talking about 3.0 with the cocktails. And we're working on building that, working with the architects. Some materials and plans we had originally would take a long time to get the materials in and very expensive. So kind of had to go back to the drawing board and going through that process. As interest rates are going up and a recession is looming, people keep talking about it and stuff. We're just really going through the ringer on the plans and what we're going to do. I will say part of why we're changing the streaming schedule is there's a lot of projects coming up, particularly related to 3.0, we're going to be working on. And I do think you'll be hearing more specific updates and more frequent updates on that score as time goes on, particularly once we hit that build out button and things start really moving. There'll be a lot of updates to follow, but we're moving as fast as we can. It's just a process. Anytime you involve third parties, things can take a while. So we're doing it right. We're planning on creating the absolute best place we can to play games. And we're expecting it to be around for a really long time. So that's part of why we're building, and instead of just renting somewhere or leasing somewhere. To do something like that, it just takes a lot of effort and time and resources. And that wouldn't be possible without everyone supporting us and buying products from us and stuff. So if you've been a part of that, honestly, thank you for putting us in a position to pursue this insane dream. It's crazy what we're doing. I cannot wait to share it with everybody. But I don't like to talk too much about things until they're happening because things change, all that kind of stuff. So we're doing everything we can on that front, and it'll happen as soon as we can possibly make it happen. Dysphoria, nothing that has the mutability of Dex on the solo game side. There are some home-cooked adaptations of old TCGs out there, though. Yeah, I would be surprised if there's any solo card games anywhere near this. And the Chaos Theory says, I'll be uploading more content once Red Rain drops. It is easier to create content when you can just play solo. Well, hey, we're going to get out of here. It's been an absolute privilege. Huge shout out to Plaid Hat for sending us an early prototype of this game so we could play it, and the design team for doing such a fantastic job, and all the playtesters. All our Ashes subscribers. This game wouldn't exist without you. Our stream wouldn't exist without you. So thank you for being a part of this. And is this the last Ashes stream of the year?
Yep.
We're not streaming at all next week. We're doing some streams the week after just to kind of round out the year and finish it with some fun stuff and some holiday things. So hopefully we'll see you there. If we don't, please have a fantastic holiday season. Stay safe and enjoy life. And we'll see you on the other side of the year. And what we'll find out what 2023 holds. Hopefully a lot of good things to come. We'll see you there.